Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sal Licata Show podcast, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We have some stuff that we do want to mention before we get into it today. We'll be doing a Subway Series, a pair of tickets to the Subway Series at Citi Field in May. We'll be doing a giveaway for that, courtesy of the Sachdev Family Orthodontics in Rockland. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But we'll do that once we get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So we're on our way there. It might take a little while, but once we do that, the game is in May. I mean, I'm assuming we're going to hit it by then. Once we do that, we'll give away those tickets. Also, special announcement, BT will be joining me live 8 p.m. We'll do a YouTube live on my channel this Wednesday night, 8 p.m. If you're listening to this on Monday, this Wednesday night. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, tomorrow. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, it's tonight, live 8 p.m. BT will be joining me for an hour, so we'll take some comments, all those different things, have some fun, and talk some sports. The other thing is comment on YouTube. Send your comments to YouTube, and we'll start to work in some Q&A episodes, or even just, care to comment. We'll respond to your comments one way or another, even if it's not necessarily a question. All right, now that that's out of the way here. So a lot happened with the Mets yesterday as Lindor and Soto arrived at Mets camp. And the questions are all about the clubhouse from a year ago. The Mets had to take a sledgehammer to that clubhouse, and they did. And that's a great thing coming in. But when Lindor's asked about, what went wrong or what needs to happen, and he still does not seem to me loose and fun. Now, it's early on, and maybe they're still embarrassed about what happened a year ago. Maybe they got to get acclimated to the new teammates. It still doesn't seem the way that you want it to ultimately seem. I'm not expecting that to be the case on the first day. But when you have Soto, who's like, well, last year is last year, it's behind us, and we need to just go out there and have fun. Yes, those are the right things. Go out there and have fun. Mendoza referenced the clubhouse as being too corporate last year. I do think bringing in Peralta and Simeon and Bichette, that's going to change the mix and feel of that clubhouse. But clearly there was something wrong a year ago. And I don't think we need to go back and rehash the whole thing. The main thing from a year ago, because by the way, Lindor and McNeil did not like each other. That's obvious from day one. That's not reported stuff or inside information. That whole thing was legitimate, and people they thought, oh, just get over it, whatever. They put it behind them, the rat, the raccoon, the squirrel, whatever you want to talk about. But Lindor, I know, again, I'm assuming this is not inside information, could not stand McNeil. Do the math. Use common sense. So now that he's out of there, I feel like Lindor should be better off, especially having Simeon as his double play partner. Lindor did say that he believes, to say this on day one is pretty interesting, that this team will be better than it was a year ago. And I agree with that, but I'm glad that he said it. He's the pseudo captain of the team, the leader of the team, or at least that we thought the leader of the team. And for him to say we will be better than we were a year ago, I think that's a strong statement from Lindor, where it's still sensitive to the guys that were here and mainstays like Nimmo, like Alonso. You could throw in McNeil, whatever, but those guys that were mainstays a year ago, Diaz as well, him saying that they're better now, I think that's a pretty powerful statement. I just don't know how you get less corporate, because I like the idea of the Mets not being overly corporate, because I don't like corporate, but I like that Soto is no nonsense, and he's not going to be clowning around and dancing with the silly signs and all. That's just not him, and it's okay. I want him to be himself. Everybody else could go have fun, and maybe he'll want to join the party. Maybe he just sticks to himself and says, focus on baseball, and that's him. He's a robot. He's a machine. Good. Well, I love that about him. Let him produce, but let everybody else be themselves as well. Maybe Peralta could loosen him up. Maybe Simeon could loosen him up a little bit. Maybe nobody has to loosen him up. And maybe just Soto can do his own thing, and everybody else can get back to having the fun that they had in 2024. But clearly, there was something off. And clearly, the Mets knew that there was something off. It's more than just the chemistry. It's also about the talent and the different pieces that they have. The Mets did get better defensively. We've talked about it, all the different moves. Lindor even referenced that. So I like where the Mets are at going in, but I don't think it's any guarantee or 100% given that their chemistry is going to be better just because they have new guys. I think the Soto-Lindor dynamic is the biggest issue or the biggest thing. And the fact that it's now out in the open, maybe that could benefit everybody here. because it's no more behind closed doors. It's no more, well, we think that they're best friends, and we assume that they're best friends, but they're really not. Now it's blatant. It's out there. It's in the open. Everybody's acknowledged it. Maybe not Soto and Lindor head on, but they talk about, Lindor saying we love each other in this clubhouse and we fight for each other. We don't have to be best friends. Yeah, that's true. You don't have to be best friends. But it is odd when you have that type of disconnect between the two best players in Lindor and Soto. Maybe that, though, can bring them closer. When you have something like that that gets aired, now there's no more secret. Now you can talk about it. A lot of the issues in life, in communication, whether it's at home, whether it's at work, whatever it may be, a lot of it is because of stuff that's kept inside and just people unafraid to bring that out. Well, now with Lindor and Soto, it's out in the open. So I don't know the specific issues that they each had with each other or whatever, or if they even had major issues other than maybe just not being the same type of personalities, which is okay. But the fact that it's out in the open now probably will help them. And just in case you don't believe in the clubhouse stuff, and I do, like I said, I did this on Sports Night last night. I was like, enough with the clubhouse stuff. You know why it's not relevant, really, outside of Lindor Soto? Because nobody else is here. It's a totally different clubhouse. So it really doesn't matter what their chemistry was a year ago. Every year is a new thing. 2024 was great. 2025 was not. Let's see what 2026 brings. And they brought in a lot of high-character guys that should help change that clubhouse for the better. So really what happened last year doesn't matter. The Lindor-Soto dynamic is interesting. But one more thing on last year, and this plays into some of the news that also happened over the weekend aside from Lindor and Soto arriving. You had Steve Cohen go to social media. Not go to social media. He did an interview. Steve Cohen did an interview. I don't know if it was some podcast or whatever it was. But Cohen addressed the Edwin Diaz stuff, saying, quote, "I'm not sure exactly how Edwin arrived at that decision. Obviously, it's a personal decision on his part, and I thought we made a pretty respectable bid." Talking about Diaz signing with the Dodgers. We were all kind of caught off guard by that because Diaz never gave the Mets a chance to respond or up their offer, and I'm sure Cohen was more surprised than anybody else as it pertains to that. Clearly, those comments show you that. But then you're reading some stuff from the Post about Diaz, and I'll give you a quote. This is in the, I don't know if it's New York Post, California Post. Obviously, Diaz now with the Dodgers and in Dodger camp. So Cohen says that, and Diaz responded just saying, "I made my decision, the way that they recruited me." We knew that that was an issue. Stearns did not show the love to Diaz and his agent the way that the Dodgers did. But maybe there is more to it. Maybe Diaz just didn't want to be a part of the Mets clubhouse. Maybe he didn't like what was going on. While he was very respectful about Cohen and the Mets organization, listen to these quotes from Diaz from the Post. Quote, this is saying after the second workout with the Dodgers here. Diaz, quote, "Everyone welcomed me really good. He cited clubhouse chemistry when asked what stood out about him so far during his time at Camelback Ranch. I think that's how they've been good. They really have a good clubhouse. Every player has a different personality in the clubhouse. They have different players from different countries, and they all get together and have fun." I mean, come on. You need to do the math here? You need me to lead you to the water? That is a pretty blatant, I don't want to say shot at the Mets from a year ago, but a pretty blatant example of the issues that the Mets had a year ago and maybe why Diaz chose to go elsewhere. And maybe the issues, Diaz decided to go elsewhere before all the significant changes happened with the Mets. I don't know if he knew that was going to happen. He didn't give the Mets the chance. Maybe he didn't think it was going to happen. Maybe he just figured, well, Soto and Lindor aren't going anywhere, and that's a dynamic I don't want to be a part of. I don't know. I'm clearly speculating here, but those comments are rather odd after an offseason of talking about the chemistry, an entire offseason of talking about the chemistry, Stearns taking a blowtorch to the group as he should have, and Diaz perplexingly choosing the Dodgers over the Mets without having the Mets giving the Mets a chance to up their offer after having a great relationship. I mean, he talked about it, loved the owner, loved all that stuff. They gave him the big contract for $100 million. Didn't appear to be any issues between Diaz and the team. Him choosing to stay in LA and not go back to the Mets. And now the second day at Dodger camp, referencing how great the clubhouse is and all the personalities from all over the place have fun. Bottom line is this. I think in anything in life that you do, you need to have fun. It's something that I've been trying to write on my notes. Yeah, I don't have a lot of notes, but like when I first started out in the business, I would do this show called The Wheelhouse on SNY. Sports Night too. Talking about 16 years ago. Goodness gracious, I can't believe it's that long. But I would have these, you'd have a show sheet with all the topics on it. The Wheelhouse was specifically 9 innings. So it would be 9 topics. And every time I would write at the top of the sheet, have fun. Amongst other things, but have fun. Have fun. Try to do that during the radio show. Sometimes it gets away from you and you're in a bad mood for a variety of reasons. But if you're having fun, you're doing it the right way. Same thing with doing this podcast. Like, why do you think Badabooms is so successful? He's having fun. Why do you think we've made it work so far? You're not having fun? No, I see him shaking his head.
No, I'm having fun. I just didn't think I was going to get a shout out. Check the private chat, by the way, that I sent you.
Okay, let me look at this. We're learning how to do this. Here we go, private chat. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so I think that having fun is key to life and being successful at what you do, whether it's at home, whether it's at work. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. I mean, we're not here long enough. Time is the most valuable thing, so you better be having fun. Now, that's obviously like a big life picture, PSA from SAL, have fun in life. But as it pertains to the Mets clubhouse specifically, you got to have fun. If it's a bad group and you feel like you can't be yourself or you feel like you're not having fun, then that's an issue. So Soto's got to be... I think part of the issue from what they tried to do with Soto a year ago was have him do what they did in 2024. That's not him. Let him have fun his way, which is going out there being a beast, smashing baseballs. That's what Soto wants to do. Let him have his fun that way. Don't force the issue. And then you guys still have your fun. You shouldn't feel like, well, he's a robot and a machine and we feel like we can't have fun. No, everybody can coexist. 26 different personalities. It should work. Just loosen up, have fun. Don't take it so seriously. It's a job, but you're playing baseball and you're making millions of dollars to do so. Like, it shouldn't be that serious. Go out there and have fun. And I really do think that the chemistry is going to be better this year with the Mets because of the different guys that they brought in, because of the guys that they let go. It's not that Pete was a problem, not that Nimmo was a problem, or McNeil was a problem. He just wasn't liked, and he was selfish. But aside from that, I don't think it was a major, they need to get rid of all these guys to succeed. That is not true. They succeeded in 2024 with those guys being here, so it wasn't just that. But something was off. Things needed to change. And more importantly than the clubhouse chemistry, I really do believe it was just the structure of the team wasn't working. Too many liabilities defensively, too many empty at-bats offensively, even with guys that put up big numbers, whether it's Nimmo or Pete, just not consistent enough putting the bat on the ball. And I do think the Mets are going to be better. And Lindor saying that the 2026 team is better, and a big part of that referencing Peralta and McLean right out of the gate going into the year. And we know injuries are going to happen and things like that are going to happen and change how things look. But last year, I remember doing this with BT on the fan. I'm looking at the rotation like, this is no good. This is not a good rotation. And it turned out to be an awful rotation. I didn't think it would even be that bad, but it was that bad. All right, so there you have it with the Mets, Lindor, Soto report. Today on Monday, the first full team workout. So officially, let's put 2025 behind us and look ahead as 2026 is on the horizon, and I can't wait for it. And the one last thing, because I have a problem letting go. The team was supposed to be built this same way with Diaz back in the back end of that bullpen. Imagine how that would look with Diaz and Devin Williams. And you saw the comments. We went over them from Cohen. That should show you that he's upset. And sometimes when Cohen's upset or embarrassed, and maybe he was with that case with Diaz, not understanding what the hell happened, that's what I'm telling you. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets went out there at some point. I don't know about right now, but at some point when a top closer is available, Steve Cohen and Stearns are going to go try to get themselves a top closer and exciting. Even though I think they might not need it with Devin Williams. Matter of fact, I think Williams' move is kind of underrated, underappreciated. I think he's going to return to form and be more the top closer that he was prior to joining the Yankees. But I still would not be surprised if the Mets try to build a super pen and go out there and get one of the biggest arms available whenever that may be. Booms, you had something you wanted to add here to that?
On the Mets stuff?
I don't know. Oh, that's what your private message says. See, this is why we got to learn communication here about it.
Dude, the private message says nothing about the Mets.
It says at the end, can I talk about what Brady said about the Jets? I just saw at the end of this, I have something to add on Brady and the Jets, thinking at the end of this segment.
No, it's the end of the show, but I do have something to add real quick if you want me to.
No, you don't have to if you don't have anything to add.
No, I do. I do.
What? Good.
I want to give you credit, and I'm going to jump in here real quick. Sorry about my hair and everything. I'm
Yeah, it's
editing
okay. Nobody cares.
thumbnails already. No, you were one of the first people who were on this process of the Mets. Like, you were talking about this before they actually did it. You had no fear of breaking up the clubhouse, and I think that was what everybody thinks the problem was last year.
For the record, I talked about it in 2023 and got endless shit for that, as if I was making stuff up to get attention. Trust me when I tell you, I've never made stuff up to get attention. I know how to get attention if I want to, but I
Yeah.
never make stuff up. I'll give strong opinion, unique opinion, try to give different thought. That came from a reliable source, a very reliable source. And I got a lot of shit for it, and it took 3 years or 2.5 years, but eventually you saw what happened. So the Mets were a laughing stock around the league. People don't want to admit it, but that's what was happening. People would come in and not take them seriously, all those guys. And I never meant to make Pete a focal point. That was WFAN's problem, that the digital team highlighted it to make it, they sensationalized it to make it look like I said Pete Alonso was toxic, and that's why that thing blew up. They knew what they were doing because they were trying to get attention with that. But that's not what I said. But yes, by the way, shortly after I said that on the fan, articles came out about how they had issues in the clubhouse. But that was a totally different team than what we saw in 2025, and certainly than what we saw in 2024. But make no mistake that there were some issues there, and now, whatever it may be, that core has blown up. The NBA All-Star Weekend took place. Now, I used to love All-Star Weekend. I did not watch a lot of All-Star Weekend. I haven't watched a lot of it in the past. I did flip it on. I forget why it was even on, but we were maybe before watching a show, my wife and I happened to see it, and I flipped it on until the end of the three-point contest, which was pretty cool. I mean, I like the three-point contest, and it is competitive. Dame Lillard won, which I don't know how he's in it because he hasn't played. That doesn't make sense to me, but man, I used to freaking love NBA All-Star Weekend. It was my favorite thing. The dunk contest, the three-point contest really got me into it. And I think it was because of the competition, the actual competition. And now, and I'm not getting into the All-Star, the actual game, but I read some stuff. People were talking about it. And the world versus the USA or whatever, like that does nothing for me. I'm sorry. I just don't care. It means absolutely nothing. So people were talking about how the new format was better for it and that there was more competition in it, which is great. The problem is, in an All-Star game, that's not where I'm looking for primary competition. It's never really going to truly be as good as competition in the regular season. The NBA now has problems that are in the regular season with the lack of competition. Without competition, we have nothing. All-Star games don't mean as much as they used to because the players don't care as much about the pride in East versus West. There's nothing on the line. It's like that for baseball, too. It's not just basketball. There's nothing on the line, which is why I try to make, oh, yeah, let's have home field advantage in the World Series. You got to put something on the line to incentivize the players. Oh, how about a bonus? The teams could get $100,000, whatever it may be, trying to incentivize. Back in the old days, 70s, 80s, whatever, even the 90s, it was about pride. You cared about what you did, National League versus American League, East versus West. That's not there, and now they try to force the issue and make stuff up. And I don't care about the world versus U.S. East versus West may be a different story, although at this point, I really don't care either. But make it make sense to me where you have an all-star game where Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson are on two separate teams. That it just does not make any sense. So I know, maybe at 22 or 26 as opposed to 46, I would have felt differently. I loved All-Star Weekend, three-point contest, dunk contest. I just can't get into it. But I think overall the bigger issue is the lack of competition. Did you watch All-Star Weekend, Badabooms? Were you into it? I know you're 22. Maybe you have a different perspective. The league is in trouble with the way that things are going. Silver even addressed that ahead of All-Star Weekend. So they know that they have a problem that's been going on forever. The players just don't give a shit. It's simple as that. The majority of players don't care the way that they used to. That's the problem. Because they make so much money, it doesn't matter whether they win or lose. So in these games, they could rest, they could lose by 20, they could lose by 50. It doesn't matter. The check still clears. That's a bigger issue that they're going to have to figure out a way to fix it. Whether the in-season tournament, all those different things, whatever. But as it pertains to the All-Star Weekend, where would you, Badabooms, rank NBA All-Star Weekend all time? Not just this weekend, but all time amongst the favorite All-Star Weekends. And did you watch any of this particular weekend?
I tuned in a little bit. It just doesn't seem that fun anymore. And maybe it's because I'm older now, but like, and you threw it to me for the young man's opinion. But I feel like back in the day, it used to be a spectacle. And like me and my friends would talk about it, and it was a big deal. We'd go over each other's houses to watch it. And now it's like, did anybody even watch it? Like I had it on in the background,
Did
but
you
the
watch the dunk
timing,
contest?
there was nothing from the dunk contest. No juice. No
Okay, I
juice.
didn't see who won. Do you even know who won?
I can't even tell you. All I know is the
Okay.
Knicks won the shootout,
Yeah,
like
I
the shoot
saw
the
that.
lights out competition.
Yeah, and even
And
that, like,
Marcus Camby
mhm,
was in it though.
Jalen Brunson's father was in. Like, even that, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I used to love it. You say back in the day, you're 22. How far back in the day could this be?
Well, actually, one of my boys were talking about this the other day, like when the last time it mattered. And to me, I always go back to Toronto with the Kobe face off with LeBron, and then Drake's being all goofy and shit in the background, and he's jumping around, like ruining one of the greatest pictures of all time with Kobe and LeBron. You know what I'm talking about? Kobe and
No,
LeBron are
but
facing off.
yeah, I feel like I've heard of it or probably seen it before, but even that, I don't care.
I know I've been needling you about this since we started, or you started this show, when I've just been on here to help. But I'm very passionate about how the baseball All Star Game had one of the greatest features in all of sports. The fact that, hey, this thing may decide like the World Series. Like this thing we're gonna do right now in July is gonna affect the World Series. So let's care about it. And then sadly, all the Jeter stuff happened where they were trying to get Jeter a hit, and that's when the fun went away. If like, let's just make it like this what it was at one point, the home field advantage. I think that was
You
one of the
like
best.
that?
I love it, absolutely love it, Sal.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but then you also have an issue where some players don't. I mean, I think money's the ultimate motivator. If you told those guys, "Hey, your contract's not guaranteed, but if you win this All Star game, guaranteed contract, you tack on another year," they play their asses off in that thing, and that would be great to watch. So, I mean, East versus West. Let's say in the NBA, you put home court on the line in the NBA Finals. A lot of players that are playing in the game don't care because they're not going to be in the finals or even in their team's not going to be in the playoffs. So I don't know if that works. Same thing with baseball. I didn't really like that putting home field in the All-Star game where why penalize the team that wins the most games? If the team, if the Dodgers won 110 games, they earn home field advantage. But there's got to be some kind of draw because it's just not enough. The players are making too much money. That's the issue. I'm not trying to take any money away from them, but that's the issue. They don't care. They'd rather be healthy. They'd rather go and have fun, and there's no reason to watch from a
I
fan standpoint.
Sorry, I didn't mean to run you over there. With baseball though, I think it made more sense before interleague play was every day, and it was like it's very
Yeah.
specific to the time of year because what happened in the American League and what happened in the National League were completely different. Like if the records were the best team in the American League and the best team in the National League, they were facing different competitions, and it was two different leagues. So I think it made more sense then. Where now it's basically one MLB. Like interleague play is whatever now.
You know what I watched more yesterday than the NBA All-Star game?
What's that now?
Take a guess.
Landman.
No,
It's
not a
dude,
bad guess.
Landman. Every
I to-
5 seconds, Landman. Landman.
I told you I finished Landman. Come
Oh,
on.
that's right. Yeah,
It's
that's
not
right.
a TV show, sporting event.
Oh, the Olympics.
No.
The slap. I don't know.
What's the slap? Are you into
Where
the
they
Olympics
slapped
at
each
all?
other.
Have you gotten into that?
Actually, last night before we recorded mystery segment that we recorded last night, I had it on and I was watching it. And it's very entertaining. It's more entertaining than I thought.
What did you watch? What events?
The ladies like skating fast. I don't know the name
Okay.
of it. It
Speed
was a
skating?
race, speed
Yeah.
skating. Yeah, that was very interesting.
Ladies skating fast. Oh, you mean speed skating?
Yeah.
No, I'm not opposed to the Olympics. I haven't gotten into it yet. Maybe when the hockey gets a little bit further down the road,
You
I'll be
called me the
more.
other day and I was watching the hockey on my break
They
at my
played.
real job.
I was gonna say, did they play? Who was that? The U.S. men's team?
Yeah, maybe Latvia. Maybe they were playing. They were playing
I
somebody.
saw. I saw
One
yesterday
where
playing
Brady Kachuk
Germany.
scored.
I just couldn't get into it yet. The big games, maybe I'll get more into. I watched the Daytona 500.
I was
I
watching a little bit of it too.
I think the Daytona 500 is one of the best televised sports out there. They do such an incredible job on the broadcast. I've said this for years. I'm not a huge NASCAR fan, but I'll get into it a little bit. I like the season. I don't understand it fully. I used to actually be in a fantasy league. Like, I don't understand the stages. Do you understand that? The stages throughout the races?
Yeah, when I was young, I used because my friends they live in Daytona, like my close family friends, and I used to go down there for the bigger races in the summer.
You've
So
actually been to a race or no?
not the 500. I've been to
Okay.
the Coke race in Coca-Cola race in the summer, and they moved it to like September, so I wasn't able to go anymore because of school. Now I'm an adult, so it doesn't really matter. I've also been to the Poconos before. Have you ever like seen the Pocono Triangle?
No.
They have the tricky triangle in the Poconos, one of the hardest tracks to race at.
No, maybe I'd like to check that out. I do want to go to a Daytona 500. My buddies do. What's the Indy 500? They've done that
Yeah.
one before. But to me, I'd go do it just for the event, like bucket list, check it off the list. But the Daytona I actually like. It's just they take you inside the cars, the different angles. It's frustrating with all the crashes, but the way that it went yesterday, I thought it was an exciting race. And did you see? I don't even know the guy who won. I forget his name.
Tyler
Since that
Reddick,
was,
yeah. Tyler
who
Reddick.
is it?
Tyler Reddick. So with
I was rooting for Bush, who never won before, right? They were saying like Kyle Busch, 22. I think it was Kyle Busch, 22 years doing it. He's never won
you
before.
like Kyle Busch?
No, I was just trying to root for somebody who hadn't won before and been doing it for 2020. I used to, when I first was into it, I used to like Tony Stewart because I worked at Home Depot and he was representing Home Depot. Then I got into Joey Logano, who took that car over for him. And then there was a couple other racers that I would like over the years, but I haven't been into it
What
in
a
a
guy,
while.
Joey Logano, by the way. One of the
Is he a good
nicest
dude or
guys
no?
of all time,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, what I like a lot about NASCAR compared to all the other sports is it's very heavy on the fan engagement. Like when you go there, you'll just see the guys walking around. They're all very nice for the most part, and they take pictures. Besides Kyle Busch.
Oh, he's
Oh,
not a good dude?
nah, he's a
Did he used to drive the M&M
marginal.
car?
He did, yes. And then Eminem pulled out.
Uh,
They're like, this is not financially profitable for us
wow.
anymore.
Yeah, all the cars look totally different. None of the sponsors were similar to what I remember last time. The Home
Yeah, he's
Depot
got like a
cars.
knockoff Zinn sponsor now.
Who's your favorite driver? You have one?
Ryan Blaney. Big Ryan Blaney
Okay.
fan.
Blaney,
He's just
I
a
feel like
cool ass dude.
okay. Yeah, I got to get more into it, especially if you're into it. Not that we're going to talk about it a ton here, outside of the Daytona
I'm not as
500.
into it as I used to
No,
be when I was younger.
my point was it's just a good event. Like I wasn't locked in yesterday, but as I'm doing stuff around the house, laundry, whatever, I had it on because it's great background noise. They do such a great job on the broadcast. And did you see? So the winner was a group owned by Michael Jordan. Jordan won the Daytona.
23-11.
Okay, there you go. So I didn't even know Michael Jordan was in a car racing. Yet he's an owner, and I do like how they have teams. And Jordan's team won the Daytona 500, so he's holding up like an NBA title, and he's talking about it as a championship.
Yeah,
Good
he's
for MJ
crying
winning.
and kissing it and recreating the NBA Finals photo.
Think about that. That was so cool, though. That was a cool moment. I enjoy it, man. Their broadcast, week to week, I would say is second to none as far as that goes. Getting the crowd, getting the fans into it, giving different perspective. I had my daughter watching it for a little bit. There's something about it. I don't know if it's just soothing with the cars going around, but also, you know what I like about it? Competition. What we just talked about. It's true competition. These guys are really trying to win. So we're sports fans. We like competition, any kind of competition. That was more competitive, obviously, the Daytona 500, than anything that the All-Star Weekend had to offer. So why wouldn't I be more into that than the silly All-Star Weekend, which doesn't mean anything?
I think one of the best parts of racing too, for the majority, is a lot, well, at least NASCAR racing. I'm not sure about Formula One. Is a lot of those guys like Tyler Reddick, like Eric Jones. I'm just throwing names out
Yeah.
there. Are like hardworking blue collar guys, and the people who are like the rich, a-holes. Those are the ones who own the cars, and then they find the blue collar guys to drive the chassis. So they're very easily, they're easy to root for, those drivers for the most part. Like Tyler Reddick.
Earnhardt Jr.'s retired, I'm assuming, a while ago.
Yes, huge Commanders fan. Huge Commanders fan.
All right. I got to look at the list of current drivers because I was looking at the name, the leaderboard, and I was like, man, I don't really recognize. Kozlowski, I recognized. Logano was up there a little bit.
Keselowski.
Is that his name?
No, it's just like dog butchering a guy's name.
What is it? What was his name?
Keselowski.
What is his name? Do you know?
Brad
You know
Keselowski.
Yeah. Okay, Kozlowski. Okay, him I remember. Those are guys that I would take
They just
flyers
call him
on.
Brad though. Like if you watch that, they just call him Brad because there's only one Brad.
But you're right. I like those personalities. I like the fiery guys sometimes that get into it after a wreck. Man,
Like, did you see what happened with Reddick's son? Like, apparently last year his son had really bad health issues. I'm not sure what it was to the extent. So he had his son up there on the car with him, and it was a nice, emotional
Awesome.
moment.
No, I didn't see that. But I'll tell you this, getting more into, especially now, like the other thing yesterday that I was noticing is I can't wait for baseball to come back because usually on a Sunday afternoon, you're doing laundry, whatever it may be. You're staying in for the weekend as opposed, you ran your errands on Saturday. Well, I like to have a ball game on to watch, Mets or Yankees.
From your lips to God's ears, Sal.
Well, it's coming soon. By the way, we'll also have a special. I was teasing before. We'll get more into the tease what we have coming up. We'll also be doing some content from spring training. Badabooms and I going to make the trip. Trip has been booked. 1 day Tampa, 1 day Port St. Lucie. So looking forward to that. What'd you do, speaking of weekend and all that stuff, Valentine's Day weekend, 22-year-old perspective, how was that for you, Badabooms?
Friday night we went out to like this little bar, and like I don't really drink, so like
Mhm.
we were just sitting there
When you say
bullshitting.
we, you and your girlfriend?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. How long you been dating?
Coming up on the 5th year in April.
Wow. Wow. Okay. That's right. We went over that before. Good that you remember this time. Okay, so go
Y-
ahead.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put her over too much today because she's not even gonna listen to this, but I will
Mhm.
tell her that I put her over. But like that, it's kind of like having like a friend. Like I wouldn't have invested this much time in her if I didn't like her or she was up my ass all the time. Um, you know, I don't really have much juice. Like I can't shit on her too much, and I can bleep that out if you want. But we had fun on Friday night. We went out to the bar. We were just talking ball and stuff. By ball, I mean like music. Like
Is
we
she I
we
was
have.
gonna say, is she a sports fan at all?
She's grew up in a big Italian family, so she's a Yankee fan by obviously like
What
that's
about
just.
Jets? Sunday will you watch the game together?
No. She just texted me. That's why I started laughing. No, the Jets are my sanctuary. She doesn't.
She
How
doesn't
what?
what? You
No,
don't let her into your I get it. I respect it. This is why I'm asking these things.
there's the line. Stay behind the line. She knows the rules though, which I really appreciate.
One of the big regrets of my life is having my wife and her friend over during the Super Bowl that the Falcons blew at 28-3 lead. I
Oh,
knew
so
it.
you're an amateur for doing that though.
Well, it was the year we were getting married months later in May. Can you shut your phone off or put it on silent?
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm getting harassed by my other job.
Just put it on silent. It's all right.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
good
just did.
God. Um, there was we were getting married shortly thereafter. I was like, well, I want you here. I don't want anybody else from the outside. But she felt bad and wanted her friend to come. I was like, all right, whatever. And then that's still a regret that I have to this day because I feel like how sports fans were superstitious. I feel like that cost me the Super Bowl. That blew the
Yeah,
28-3 lead. Having an outsider there is just bad karma.
awful energy. Awful energy.
You,
I don't think I've ever watched a meaningful game with my. I hate saying girlfriend. Such a weird
what do you
word.
say? What do
You
you
know,
use?
lady. There's
Nah,
another
that's
word
weird.
I would use, but I'm not gonna say it on the air. Disrespectful
No,
to
you don't want to be
women.
disrespectful. Girlfriend's the right way to do it. I mean,
No, well, I call her another word.
what?
It rhymes with itch, but I'll be like my itch. You know what I'm
You can't.
saying?
That is disrespectful.
No, she loves it. She eats it up.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't be dropping that. So Valentine's Day, here's one thing that I learned about it. First of all, I went into it being like, I'm not doing anything. I even told my wife, I'm like, you don't care about Valentine's Day, right? This is a stupid thing to say. I'm like, we're going away on vacation soon. Like, you don't care about Valentine's Day. She's like, no big deal. And then, it's about my daughter, really. She's my Valentine. I got her a little stuff. So, card, you go shopping at Target for a toy. You can pick out a toy. But as I'm looking for Valentine's Day stuff, then I'm like, I felt obligated to get my wife something. So I bought from Walgreens, I bought a couple of dozen roses right in Walgreens and a nice card. And she appreciated it. So you don't have to go nuts and spend a ton of money. Like you don't need to go to the florist and spend a ton of money on these flowers. Just get them from Walgreens or whatever. Although it was still expensive, dude. At the end of it, I didn't want to do anything on Valentine's Day. We didn't even go out. I was in bed by 9:30. We watched the movie. What the hell movie did we watch? I forget what movie we watched. Anyway, we were in bed by 9. One of the best pick noms. Sentimental Value. Have you heard of that one?
No, what is that word you just said?
One of the best pick noms.
What's a pick now? Oh, you're saying best picture.
Yeah.
You said it so quick that I was like,
one
what
of
is
the
this?
best.
What does dude just say?
Yeah, one of the best pick noms. Sentimental Value. Anyway, I was in bed by 9:30. Like, we're not doing anything on Valentine's Day, and still it was a couple hundred bucks that I spent.
Oh,
I
tell
mean,
me
good
about
God,
it, bro.
Dude, Walgreens. Dozen roses or 2 dozen roses because the one I was just like I can't show up with that, like I might as well
Yeah.
again. So I
Yeah,
had to do
15
two.
years old.
Yeah, exactly. I mean she caught herself, but she's like, where'd you get these? Oh, but I love them so much. Anyway, and then you think I got a card? No, I get nothing. I'm like, what am I?
You want a card though?
No, I don't. But like, for all the shit that I get for not caring about
I got a
her.
card for you right here. Look at this. I was just like staring at this. You see what that is?
Penix?
It's a Penix card that I spent $150 on before the season, and it's
That's
absolutely worthless now.
Yeah,
It's I'm using it as a paperweight right now.
You know what I did on Valentine's Day, which was great? After like I gave the gifts or whatever, and before I went to bed, I played NES, old school Nintendo. I finally had some time to just sit there and veg out for a little bit, and it was wild. I played a bunch of games, but I really zoned in on Tyson's Punch-Out. Have you ever played that game?
Absolutely. My dad used to have the Sega. And
How old is your dad? Can you say?
50, I think.
Right. So I mean, do you think or do you know?
I think.
He's already hit 50.
I think.
Okay. So because I was thinking about this for some reason this morning. Like, I'm 46, you're 22. I'm pretty sure that was the disparity between my father and me. And
Mhm.
it's so weird for me to think of it like that. I never, like I feel you and I are closer in age than my father and I were, but we're not.
You're
We're
also kind
similar.
of a young guy, like the way you talk. Like you also let these jokes that I say that are like the potty mouth jokes kind of just roll off your back.
Yeah.
Where like I no, even though like me and my dad have like a closer relationship and I'm gonna make jokes like that, I'm not necessarily gonna go to the same extent with you where it's just every five
Right.
seconds,
I get it. Yeah.
genitalia jokes.
I know. It's still weird, the age dynamic. Anyway, so like, it's weird to think back. Now, you weren't even around years after Nintendo, but it's weird to think back. I could remember like 7-year-old me or 10-year-old me just playing for hours and trying to go through the ranks in Tyson. And I remember the euphoria when I finally beat Great Tiger. What's his name?
I used to just play it as like exhibition. I never like
Yeah.
played
Okay.
the
Anyway,
story mode.
but you'd go up through the ranks, Great Tiger, and then I was just doing it the other day as a 46-year-old. So like almost 35, 40 years later, going through the same mind games, Soda Popinski, and all these guys. I didn't get past Soda Popinski this time. I just gave up. But it was fun to play. That was a good Valentine's Day. My wife left me alone for a little bit. I was able to play a little
Oh,
NES.
you think you got you thanked. I want to thank you for the Valentine's Day present you got me. I didn't see it until yesterday because I was off on an excursion there, and lovely little gift that I'm staring at right here.
It wasn't necessarily a Valentine's Day gift. It was just a
I know
thank
you
you
said
for
it though. That's why.
Well, because it happened to show up on Valentine's Day. Is it still? Let me see it. Go ahead and show it up there.
I gotta be very careful. I have to get top loaders for these. Are you
It's
familiar with where I can get the top loaders?
No, it's two figures, right?
There's the
There's a
first
little
one,
Larry. You
Larry
like
the
the
dog.
CM Punk heels and faces, which they do a great job, that figure line. When we were at WrestleCon, Badabooms at 80s WrestleCon, Badabooms was eyeing these. He liked them, so I went and
Do
found
they
some
have any
for you.
Bray Wyatt ones? You know.
I don't think those, but there are some others.
See,
Anyway,
you like said, were telling me like, oh, you do the pre-orders, you do all this stuff, and I'm like, nah, dude. If I start with those, I'll go down a bad. Like, it's another thing to
yeah.
drain my money in. And then I was already looking at it. Like, they have a Punk attire from another match that I like. So I think
That
you just
same
created a
line.
monster. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. Once you get one, the collector's mindset. I'm with you, dude. I had the same thing. I'm addicted. That addictive personality. Once you get onto one thing, it's like, oh, now I got to go all the way in on that.
Good one, Sal.
Before we wrap up here, I must say, I saw you. Now, like, I don't know what's going on here. We've just been doing this for 5, 6 weeks. I don't even know how long it's been. And you're already being a guest on other shows?
Yeah, that was really fun. Thank those guys. I thank those guys at the Schoolboy Wrestling Podcast. They were very like I thought I was gonna go in there, and I knew there were three of them that did it, and they were gonna like team up on me, and I was gonna be fighting for my life. But no, they were incredible. Like just my type of guys. The way we were backing them for, and
I know, but, like, did you get that approved by me? You can't just
yes,
be.
yes, I did.
No, pretend for the bit, remember? Did you get that approved by me?
Oh no, my bad. I'll let you know
You
next.
can't just be going around all over the place. My one issue, I saw the clip that you sent me, and it's nice of those guys to have you on. And you did a good job. The one clip that you sent me, you did a Bret Hart impression.
Yeah,
So my
was
issue
good.
is not. My issue is not you going on. My issue is that you save your best impressions for them. You're doing your crappy Beningo with me.
You thought it was good?
Your Bret Hart impression is far better than your Joe Beningo impression.
Oh, that makes me happy because I thought you were just gonna shit on every single impression I did. So
No,
the fact that you
no,
like
I'm
one of them.
I want you to retire the WFAN ones. Those
What
guys
an
always-
Sean! I was doing
Yeah,
it.
go
I
ahead,
did it
give
for like
it, yeah.
40 minutes, bro. Like I was on that show for 2 hours. For 40 minutes, I'm doing Shawn or Bret Hart making fun of Shawn Michaels.
Oh, you kept doing it?
Yeah, because they were loving it, so I just kept doing it, and then I started doing other ones too.
Give me the Bret Hart again.
Oh, Sean, we're in Montreal, Canada, and I'm looking at your lazy eyes, Sean, and I'm here with the Hart Foundation.
See, that's not bad. I like
Is
that.
it really good?
Yeah, it's good. I don't know about really good. Dusty isn't bad either. I got a little bit of the taste of
baby,
it.
mac and rolls. I
Not-
also like have a lot of phlegm in my throat right now, so
That's
I can't
disgusting.
fully do it.
Okay. All right. I like you work on the wrestling impressions. That to me is better than you got to retire the WFN impressions. No more. Okay?
Brother. That's my Hogan impression. Brother.
Oh, you're a Hogan hater too?
I hate Hogan.
Oh,
Can't
dude,
stand him.
come on. Will you stop with that? He was the greatest ever. By the
No,
way,
he's
you know what else?
not. No, he's
One,
not. No, he's
one
not.
other,
His
yeah,
matches
he
are all
greatest ever.
boring, and his mic
Undisputed,
skills are very very awful. Like his mic skills aren't
undisputed,
good.
greatest ever. You know what I was watching yesterday too? Because I love the WWE Vault on
Yes.
YouTube.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
1991 Royal Rumble. I think very underrated. Everybody talks about 92, and that was great with Ric Flair.
Is that the Flair one?
No, Flair was 92.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Flair's 92.
I'm talking about 91. 91 underrated. The Rockers, that's the beginning of the Rockers breakup. Slaughter beats Warrior for the belt, setting the stage for Hogan to come triumph at WrestleMania 7. Hogan wins the Rumble. There's a lot of cool things that took place in the Royal Rumble 91. Good storyline stuff there. So
What's the year when they're in Vegas for the first time and Brett loses and then Hogan comes out and he beats Yokozuna?
that was it 9 or
9?
10? I think
I think
9.
it's 9. I think it's 9.
You
Oh, I
hated
hate that finish so much. It's so awful.
I was out by then. I think 8 was
Well, you know,
my-
Hogan.
Yeah. By the way, that Bret Hart book, you ever read that book? You should. It's
No, I would
excellent.
love to though. Does he shit on Shawn Michaels for the quarter of it?
I don't remember. I haven't read it in a while, but it's like 500 pages. It was the biggest book I ever read. I loved every second of it.
I
And
can't
I'm not
read,
gonna-
but if there's an audio book, I'll find it.
yeah. I'm not a big Bret Hart guy, but I love that book. It's tremendous.
One of the greatest to ever do it inside the ring. I don't love his mic
Yeah.
skills, but he can make you look good, Sal. If Bret Hart in his prime stepped in a ring with you.
The excellence of execution. All right, Badabooms. So just before we say goodbye here, remember, BT will be joining me live 8 p.m. on Wednesday night, so we'll have fun with that. We'll also have, once we get to 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, make sure you go like, subscribe, whatever, all that stuff. Once we get to 10,000, we will have a pair of tickets to give away. Subway Series Mets Yanks, good seats as well, courtesy of Sachdev Family Orthodontics. That's in Rockland. And also make sure you comment on YouTube. We'll start getting to some of those comments. Could be questions, could just be comments, but we'll respond to them in certain episodes that we have throughout the course of the week. All right, that does it for us. Back again tomorrow. New, fresh episode. See you then. Bye.